It's coming with RogueDeckBuilder.com, here with an update to the Rhonas Monument deck. A lot of you have been asking how this can be upgraded to standard since I've been playing this in Arena. Decided to give it a go. This is anything but tuned. In fact, I'd probably want to go a few different cards than what you see here. Got kind of scared with the mana base and ended up running 21 lands because, as I've explained before, Arena, you can cheat on the mana base because it takes 2 hands and gives you the most, or the best hand mana efficient wise. So you can skimp on mana base with the Arena platform. However, in Paper Magic, with the true random of Paper, I felt like I probably needed to go up in the mana. So I did run 21 lands, 4 Rootbound Crags, 4 Hashep Oasis to really try to make sure we can get the Samut out, because I did cut the Drovers, as Drover was replaced by Rishkar. Now, Rishkar was amazing in this deck, but before we get down to it, I'll just go to the deck tech for those who haven't watched my streams or seen the Arena deck for the Rhonas Monument. So this deck is basically, it's Rhonas Monument. It is a card that reduces the cost of creature spells, green creature spells, by 1, and whenever you cast a creature, they get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. So it turns it into an engine to really push through damage. One of the problems with the green a lot of times is it can get chump blocked. There are some creatures with trample, but a lot of the creatures we use in this deck do not have trample. The trample really pairs well with Samut, Voice of Dissent, because this is a card that has double strike, and any card with double strike does want trample. And it also does work with the Rhonas itself. Death Touch and Trample is also another very, very good combination. So let's just go down the deck tech. At very first, there's some changes here. I'm not running Adventurous Impulse. I think maybe I do want to go the Adventurous Impulse route. However, we still are going to run the namesake, or not the namesake, the Llanowar Elves, because it's one of the most efficient mana dorks that's been printed in Magic. 1 drop that then can ramp you into, especially like a turn 2 Jadelight Ranger or a turn 2 Rhonas Monument, are really, really powerful. And then I've got, this is one of the better cards from Kaladesh to be running, is going to be the Greenbelt Rampager. We're running 3 of them. I feel like this actually just wants to be a 2 of. At first I saw this little combo with the Greenbelt Rampager and the Aethersphere Harvester as a way to basically be a huge engine for the Rhonas Monument for any excess mana, to then spend the energy on the Aethersphere Harvester so that you can then return the Rampager back to your hand, and then rinse and repeat with the +2/+2. So basically with this card ends up being a +2/+2 for 1 mana that then goes back to your hand. And it also had this nice little combo with the Lifecrafter's Bestiary as a way, after a board wipe, if you have an Aethersphere Harvester and a Lifecrafter's Bestiary, for 2 mana you draw a card with the Greenbelt Rampager over and over until you refill. So that's our 1-drop slot. In all honesty, Greenbelt Rampager probably just needs to be a 2 of for this particular deck. The 4 Llanowar Elves, and then we run the Door of the Explorer package. It's going to be a playset of the Jadelight Rangers, the Merfolk Branchwalkers, as well as the Ixalli's Diviners. So these are going to be the Explore cards. These are super important in the deck because they stop you from really flooding out by drawing the cards off the top of your library, and you really want to wait to use them when you have a Vizier the Menagerie out, or to dig for a Vizier the Menagerie, as this will allow you to go through a ton of cards from your deck. So again, if you get stuck with a land on top of your library, you can get it off the top with casting an Explore card. So this is kind of the namesake of the deck. We call this deck Monument to the Menagerie. So it's going to be trying to utilize this combo of the Rhonas Monument and the Vizier the Menagerie. That means that the creature spells are going to be reduced by 1, and it also gives the Vizier Menagerie the ability to use the top of your library to cast a creature. So again, once you have that combo assembled, you can just go through your deck like crazy. So this is the card I was the most impressed from, with an addition from Kaladesh, is this particular from Aether Revolt, is the Rishkar. And Rishkar just has a lot of synergy with the Door of the Explorer combo. Wildgrowth Walkers, Jadelight Rangers, Merfolk Branchwalkers, Ixalli's Diviners, Diviners, those can be actually utilized as mana dorks once you have a Rishkar out. So that's the one suggestion I would do, is add 1 more Rishkar. I'll have this deck list up at RogueDeckBuilder.com. If you actually want to purchase this deck, we'll have one in stock that I can sign or not sign. We can sleeve it for you and send it off your way. If you want to play it at a standard showdown, this is what I just got done. Took first place standard showdown with this particular deck. And I'll be probably, if there was a standard tournament nearby, I'd like to see this one, see how far it can go. It's done very well in Arena. I'm not quite sure of the standard meta as far as how well it pair up against like vehicles. I think the sideboard would have to be tuned, especially for those type of decks. We'll get into that in a second though. The last cards though that we are running is just a 1 of Rhonas and a 1 of Ghalta and a 2 of Samut, Voice of Dissent, as well as the Lifecrafter Bestiary and the Aethersphere Harvester. I think the Harvester might just go into the sideboard. I kind of like the combo too much with the Greenbelt Rampager. But this card also really impressed me. One of the problems with this deck is that it starts to kind of burn out. You run out of cards, especially after a board wipe. And something like Lifecrafter Bestiary allows you to get back in it. So the Scry is relevant. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card by paying a green is relevant. All really good. The Rhonas and the Ghalta and even Samut are really not necessary. You just kind of have to pick your finishers. And these are my favorite finishers for this particular deck. Samut, Ghalta, Rhonas. I'm actually thinking about making a deck very similar to this and running Traxos as just having a lot of like legendary beats with a shell kind of like this. But again, that'll be a deck tech for another day. All right, so in the sideboard is kind of not very tuned because I didn't know exactly what I'd be facing. I've turned more into an arena player than really a standard player, so I know the arena meta really well. However, standard is still something that I'm a little bit rusty on because I don't play a lot of Empty Joe, and standard is still pretty much dead in my area. So I thought I would just take some of the cards that I decided to cut from the arena main and put them in the sideboard, like the Deathgorge Scavenger, just in case we go up to a God-Pharaoh's Gift or any sort of Scarab God or any reanimation type strategy. I don't know if those are relevant anymore, but Deathgorge Scavenger is the good card for that. It's also really good versus the red decks. So then the Thrashing Brontodons, the 3 of in the sideboard as well. Again, I didn't think they're as relevant as like a Rishkar. I'd rather have a Rishkar than a Thrashing Brontodon. So they got the cut to the sideboard. Heroic Intervention seems to be a good sideboard card versus Fumigate. We don't have to worry about this as much, board wipes as much in Arena, because Arena does use like Bantu's Last Reckoning every once in a while, but the vast majority of sweeper decks are white. They use Settle the Wreckage, and Heroic Intervention just doesn't work against that. I had another Ghalta, another Rhonas in the sideboard, just because it felt like having 2 more finishers against the decks that kind of clog the board. Like Ghalta is really good against other big beat decks. You just get Ghalta out and it's hard for them to deal with. Same thing with Rhonas. And I didn't know if control was going to be a thing, so the Prowling Serpopards are also an option for a sideboard. Last but not least, I put an Aethersphere Harvester and another Lifecrafter Bestiary. When I want duplicates, I can get another duplicate. Lifecrafter Bestiaries aren't actually that terrible as duplicates, as they do stack with their abilities. So again, Manglehorn is the real card that I would definitely think about putting in the sideboard against the vehicle-heavy, Karn-heavy meta at the moment. Manglehorn is a card that when it comes into play, it destroys a artifact, and then it's just a card that I think will on-curve, slow down those vehicle decks and put you in the kind of the driver's seat. Like one problem this deck does have is evasive creatures. However, we can a lot of times push through it. There will be times in Arena especially that I'll be playing as an aggro deck, and they think they're the aggro deck, like say Knights or Mono Green Stomp or Ram It Up Red, and they'll go all balls in trying to kill me, and then one turn I can just assemble the Rhonas' Monument and swing in for lethal. And we also have a lot of ways of gaining life and clogging the board. Evasive creatures, though, however, can be sometimes difficult, so I do worry about Heart of Cran. I haven't tested this against Heart of Cran, but I think Manglehorn's the right piece for the Heart of Cran. Leads back a 2/2, kills a Heart of Cran or kills something else, and then is still something you can pump up later with the Monument to Menagerie combo. So again, if you're interested in this deck, go check it out on roguedeckbuilder.com. Just a little bit of a promotion too. We still have entries available for Rogue decks over at the Rogue Master Brewer. I'll have a link in the description for that competition. And yeah, if you have a deck you want to showcase, that's the best way to do it. We are trying to do this competition for each set release. We'll open up to the community to create their own deck, and then we'll vote on it, and we have some parameters that we'd like you to follow. You can go read about that article in the description below. Anyways, thought I'd showcase this deck and give you kind of a live update on how well it works with the... I know a lot of people are more used to either the arena or the MTGO, but I just got done with the standard showdown and I thought this deck was really fun to play. There are some games where this deck just completely busted out so quickly. Wildgrowth Walkers, of course, get huge, gain a ton of life, and what I like about this deck, it does very good against aggro and control, and does even fairly well against like mid-range decks. So yeah, pretty fun deck. You should sleeve it up and give it a go. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.